This is going to be a really, really deep video. If you've watched my videos before, and it was deep for you, I highly recommend that you would go first rewatch those. If those don't resonate with you, this isn't something that I would recommend. This is something for a group of people that can at least have that higher understanding of what I'm about to say. If you don't understand my videos, like I said, I don't think this is something for you. Right, okay, let's get into it. Okay, so how the people you surround yourself with truly affect you, right? What does that even mean? I'm not gonna come and talk about topics that, you already have heard of. Like I said, this isn't the 5 people you surround yourself with, you'll become this. Even though that's true, that's not what I'm going to talk about right now. All right. So the first thing that we're going to talk about, right? This is you, okay? I need to dry this more. Okay, let's go. This is you. Now, this pen isn't working. This is you. Right? This, your brain, there's something called the subconscious mind. I'm sure you guys have heard of this before. It's the part of your brain that doesn't understand sarcasm. It's the part of your brain that is active when you're sleeping. And I would say it's the bigger part of your brain. It's like, I don't know if you guys have seen those videos where it's like the tip of the iceberg and then the whole bigger part. That's your subconscious brain, right? It doesn't understand sarcasm. It doesn't understand anything like that. It takes the words you hear literally, right? And there's a reason why this is important. I'm not going into basic stuff right now. So if you have 4 people now, right, that come, whatever frequency that these people are on, right, they're red. Whatever, it doesn't matter what they look like. Whatever frequency these 3 are on, you cannot be on your frequency that you want to be and these people's frequency. You can't be on both. It's either you're completely red or completely green. So what does that mean, right? Every time, let's just say that you are trying to go towards something, right? Every time that you want to get, I don't know, you want to make, let's say you want to make 5K a month, right? Off of an online business. If these guys come and tell you that that's not realistic, right? It's not something that you can do, wouldn't recommend it. They have different views on things, right? You cannot be around these people. The moment that you surround yourself with people that aren't on the frequency that you're on and aren't on the frequency that you want to be on, it's going to change you without you even realizing. And I'm saying this is so big. I've had, like, the slightest opinions can change the way you think about everything. And like I said, I gave you guys an example in one of my other videos that I can come give you guys again, right? So I want to say 3-4 weeks ago, my Instagram wasn't as active as it was. I was more focusing on the business and stuff like that. Our employee staff at the time was, not including me, it was 2 other people. And I was out with one of my friends. And we started getting into this whole thing of like, regarding posting content and like just in general, and like stuff like that, and hiring more people and how the next steps for what I wanted to do with my business. And just in general, we were just talking about a bunch of stuff regarding him and stuff like that. And then he just said something small. I was like, we got into the point, eventually we were like, the importance of building a team, right? And I was like, yeah, I definitely, before I had posted a story on Instagram, and I had, I got like 1 person off of it to hire, but the guy didn't end up being that serious. So essentially we just It didn't work out. And I was like, yeah, but that's definitely something I'm going to do. And then he just suddenly was like, do it now. Do it again. And then that as soon as he said that, it kind of made me feel a little bit uncomfortable. I was like, okay, like, because I didn't want to do it. But I was like, okay, you know what? Like, this couldn't hurt. Let me do it. Posted the story. The next day, got 3 employees that we worked with, that we're very, very close with now. That in turn, probably, like, realistically just made me and made them, this is an important thing, made me and made them an extra 2,000 to, let's just, I'm saying it on the low end for you guys, just another $2,000 extra a month of income for me and for them, let's just say. Right? That's the low end. I'm not going to go into details, but let's just say, for the purpose of this video, because I don't want to get too into numbers, $2,000 a month for me and for them. Just that one opinion. So think about how powerful just one thing changes the whole spiral of everything that you're doing, just by that, just by one simple recommendation. So now imagine that it was the opposite. You're hanging around people and they tell you something bad. That one opinion is stopping you from becoming it's stopping you from making an unlimited amount of money a month. It's stopping you from having the best body that you can have. And I'll tell you why, okay? Wait a sec, where is the... This is going to be very interesting, bro. This is some gold stuff for you guys. Okay. So, the word, bear with me, I know it's a bit wet still, but whatever. The word education, right? When you think of the word education, you think of, like, what do you think of? When I first heard that word, I think of knowledge coming to you. Like, the more you learn, what people think about learning is like you come towards things and you soak those things in. But the word education in Latin, it stands for something called educo, right? And that means to bring out, right? And when I first heard that, I was like, I thought that was very interesting. I thought that, you know, like what to bring out. And as I started studying that kind of, like, studying these ancient philosophies more and learning more about certain things, I realized what that means truly, right? This reality that we live in, right? This physical realm, in the same way as the subconscious brain, is only the tip of the iceberg right here. Everything else, the unseen, is bigger than the seen. Everything else is a whole pyramid like this. And anything that happens in here must come from the subconscious. Every single bridge that you see was built by someone that thought of it first in their head. Every single thing that you see on this universe is the action. Every book has been written by someone that it first came from their head, right? So this is why I'm saying the opinions of other people, why it matters so much. Because it changes your thought pattern. Now that can be for good or for bad, but every single thing that you do, every day you walk out to the gym, every day that you don't walk to the gym, it is because of something that happened in your head, right? When you don't work out for 4 months, you take your shirt off whenever you're out, one of your friends is like, bro, you gained weight. That's going to be in your head for probably 2 months. Then you're going to start going to the gym. Just because of that one comment, that changed your trajectory for 2 months. One second, one piece of information changed your thing for a million billion seconds, right? For 2 months. So what I'm trying to say, this is very, very important. Everything that you want in this life, you have to first achieve it in your head before it comes out into the real world, right? Okay, so what do I mean by that? Let me put this in a way that you guys can understand it, right? What I was saying, right? Let's say your goal, the money thing. Let's say, yeah, sure. You wanna make. No, money's not a good one. You want to become bigger in the gym. You want to have a great body. You want to have a great physique, right? But that's also something objective. Let's say, yeah, whatever. Five. You want to make 5K a month, right? 5K. 5K a month. Before that you can achieve this, you need to achieve it in your head first. And what I mean by that is if you want to change something outside, you need to first change yourself inside. You cannot change an action outside before changing it within yourself, right? And that's what I was talking about when I said the subconscious thing, right? Whatever you think turns into actions eventually. Whatever you're thinking turns into actions. Whatever you think, good or bad. The reason why you go to the gym is because in your brain you thought of it first, whatever the reasoning may be, right? So when you surround yourself around these bad people, or not even whatever, these people, they give you opinions. These opinions are so you don't even realize it. It changes the trajectory for everything that you do. And when you want to hang around someone that makes, let's say green is the person that you want to make 5K a month, you see this on the outer layer. You see them making 5K a month, but you don't know what's going on in their brain to make this, right? And for every action that they do, 1,000 actions has gone through their brain. When you hang around these people, you are on this frequency. It's impossible to go to that frequency because these people are affecting the way you think, and by the way that they affect, by their words that your brain understands, the subconscious, it doesn't understand sarcasm. When they tell you it's impossible to make that amount of money online, when someone tells you that in the back of your brain, it actually affects you. I remember, like, when I had first started my entrepreneurial ventures, I had some people that were very, very against it, and they said it was impossible to make us, like, it wasn't something realistic. I had worked a job previously, and even the manager, he was like, you can never, these types of things are, it's like, you see it online, but it's never true. You can never do this type of stuff. You need something real, right? That these are all fit. And you know, when you hear that, you might not even realize it, but it does affect you in your head, okay? Even if you think that it doesn't affect you. And this is so crucial because whatever that you want to achieve in your life, you need to first change your frequency. You need to first change this ice cube, part of the ice, right? Before it manifests into this, okay? So how do you do that? First, I said this in my other videos, it is better to be alone. Every time that you are alone, you start to think, okay? You start to think about, you start to reflect, you start to actually, usually a lot of the time, do more productive stuff, and you start thinking about different things, good and bad, right? That's the first step. You need to remove every single one of those people in your life, every single one of them, because as soon as you remove them, then you're at a frequency that when they're gone, you're at a level of that it's just yourself. And then from there onwards, as soon as you're on that frequency that you want to be on, every single time that you listen to someone, for example, come to you and say these bad things that you don't want to hear, it changes it. It changes it in a very, very bad way. So the number one way that you can fix this is, like I said, to remove them and then just be in that frequency that you want to be. I don't know, you guys have definitely heard of this. You ever like were really motivated about something, right? Doesn't matter what. You were motivated about starting a YouTube channel. You brought it up to your friends and they just crushed it. They're like, what? Bro, that's so like, what? That's like stupid. Why would you ever do that? That's cringe. It's like, what? Don't do that. That literally in real time changes everything that it just changes everything. It's so bad. I'm telling you, this is the worst thing. If you are genuine, and I know that it has happened to every single one of you guys, you thought of something and you're finally super excited and you've been thinking about it. You couldn't even sleep the night before and you want to come and bring this idea to your friends, right? It doesn't matter if it's a business idea. It doesn't matter. And then you go and explain it to them and one of them just crushes you. Literally like destroys your ego. It doesn't matter your ego or whatever. Just destroys, like, bro, that is literally the stupidest idea I've ever heard. That's not realistic. It's like, what? Bro, these people you need to block and remove from every single dimension of your life. I promise you, okay? Because the first step, and it doesn't even matter if that idea was, like, the fact that you're going towards it is the number one most important thing. You're either going up or you're down. There's no once you realize that, there's no steady. It's either you're going up in life or you're going down. And for 1 year of my life, okay? For 1 whole year, I tried dropshipping, streaming, making content like on TikTok, short form. It was completely different than what I'm doing now. And then I finally came to the gold mine of what I was doing. And thankfully, around that time, I was around people, I had mixed opinions, but I still had the small, bro, everyone outside bubble of my life was hating to a big amount. It was horrible, right? But when you have a core of strong people around you, right? A core of strong people around you that genuinely support you, the other people, it's just outside noise, okay? So that's the number one thing. But when your own people are against you, that's horrible. It's rather to be alone as a wolf than to be around 3-4 frogs, bro. And so what I'm trying to get at is, even if the idea might be stupid, like, I'm not gonna lie, some of the stuff that I was posting at one point, it was, I wouldn't say it's stupid, but it wasn't right. It wasn't something that the plan I had to reach what I wanted to do at the time wasn't correct. Like, in the way of, it just was unrealistic. But every single time, every single one of these failures led to a new experience. And if you had listened, right, to these people, you would have never got this experience to get you to the gold mine, okay? Okay, to get you to the diamond, bro. That's a horrible diamond. But every single experience leads to there. Now, to get to that part, you have to experience different things. Like I said, it took me a whole year to get to when I was wanting to make money online. For that whole year, I thankfully had some people around me that did support me. Also people that didn't, but the core one to two only people in my life, they genuinely supported me no matter what I did, but they believed in me. That's the most important thing. And then from there onwards, right, it doesn't matter. Like I said, once to get to that diamond, it took that long. And then what I'm trying to get at now is that during this process, this 1 year, my frequency was a certain state. But one thing that I had did wrong, and I'm not going to lie, was that you cannot, on this process, anyone, right? And this is like, this learned from me, this took me a long time to get at. Anything that takes away your energy, okay? Anything, right? And one of the most big things that I was talking about with one of my friends that takes away your energy on that path is lust. Okay? Doesn't matter if you're a guy or a girl. When you chase woman, you think that you're going to go and achieve what you want to do. Just think about that. When your goal it's the most time drain. You won't achieve anything. You won't achieve anything that you want to achieve whatsoever doing that. That's one, okay? That's one thing. When you're on that frequency of, bro, Every single day you wake up, you're on your phone, you're scrolling on, doesn't matter, Tinder, whatever app, just constantly, every single day, going through these talking stages every single day. Bro, how are you going to achieve like what you want to do, bro? Like, you cannot do that when you're in this state. Okay, this is one of the most common ones that I've seen for men. And like I said, I see this in a lot of people, right? It's like, bro, they will spend money at 4 a.m., get Ubers to like 3 hours away to go do this with meaningful relationships. This is the worst thing that you can do. But another thing, like I said, is like the main thing is your friends, right? This is very important too. When they give you bad opinions, it changes the way you think. And like I said, when you're in a different state, you cannot go past these barriers. Like I said, for that 1 month that I personally did what I did, it takes sometimes even longer than that, sometimes less. But the one mistake I made, I don't think it was this. It was this. Because let me explain this to you. Because this, if I had known this from the beginning, this would have made my process 1,000 times faster, right? Like in the span of 2 years, what I have achieved now, I could have done in 6 months. The number one thing you have to do is all of these people that you hang around with, every single one of them, okay? They're all this frequency, right? You need to cut them off completely and then go into when you cut them off completely, then you are fully in your frequency, right? In your frequency. Like I said this in the beginning of the video, you're either one or the other. You cannot be both. It's impossible. Okay, even if you are seeing these people once a month, once every 4 months, you're still in that frequency and it's bad. Once you completely abandon these people and you get into this frequency, anyone that is on this level of frequency, you attract. And I promise you, when I'm saying this isn't, and by attract, I'm not saying this in a way of like you go out and it's the same way with the lust thing as well. It's not, you don't start DMing people. Bro, when you start, let's say in my entrepreneur, when you lock in on one biz, you're in the gym 3-4 times a week, every other day, you're in the gym. You start doing what you know deep in your head what you should be doing. You start going to the river, you start doing ice bath. You start posting content about this stuff. Naturally, the universal law. People that are doing the same thing, they'll all connect in one whole zone. That's the key thing, right? And then with these people, right? When you are with the same people that are on the same frequency, there's something called, everyone, they have a magnetic shield around them, okay? They have a shield of who they are, a bubble, okay? Everything you do, and I was talking about this with one of my friends too, this is in the book, The Way of the Supernatural by Dr. Joe Dispenza. When you have these two, people have bubbles. When you join together, that whole bubble becomes the magnetic force. So everything you do becomes more powerful. And like what I said, that one small opinion that one of my friends said generates me and other people $2,000 extra a month just by that one opinion, okay? Now it's the same with the bad people, okay? So what I'm trying to get at here is, like I said, this first step that you have to do, first, the most important thing, is get rid of all, and rid by me, I'm never talk to them ever again. You don't have to block them, but just never talk to them ever again. Anyone that is in this red bad frequency, never talk to them again. That's the first. Oh my God, I dropped it. Wait a sec. Oh my God. Okay, here. Anyone that's in this frequency, completely abandon. Then, from there, this allows you to be in your frequency forever. You don't get bad opinions of other people directly at you, because opinions of people you don't care about doesn't matter, right? I don't know why a car is honking. But yes, so opinions, but it's the people that you surround yourself with. Then you're in this frequency because of that. And then once you start doing the activities that you want to do in this frequency, and you're always walking around everywhere, in every room, you're in this frequency, naturally, people will always be around this, okay? And then once you surround yourself, every time you get a friend that's in this same frequency, the bubble for success becomes bigger and bigger and bigger, and it becomes an upward spiral to success. Now, it's the exact same thing with these people. It becomes a downward spiral of success. Every single time that these guys say something negative to you, it affects your whole trajectory for everything, right? And you cannot do one thing and be around other people. Like I said, you cannot be in two different frequencies. You can't be in the gym and lifting weights and doing this and that, and then also doing that, right? And this is another thing. I talked about this briefly in my video, but I'm going to get into this for you guys so you understand as well, okay? Just a kind of guideline before I end the video to help you guys, okay? There are only 3 types of people that you surround yourself with from now on, okay? And all these people are in, let me use the blue marker. All these people are the right people. If they don't fit this criteria, besides family, if they don't, even family, if they're really, really that bad, you shouldn't be around them. But if they don't fit these 3 things that I'm about to go into, never talk to them ever again. Number 1, mentor. Someone 15 years at least older than you, typically around the 40 to 50, 60 onwards age, that's completed to some extent what you want to do. Doesn't have to be in the same field, but has that experience. That's the number 1. So a mentor. Mentors, okay? That's the number 1. Mentors, okay? That's the number 1 type of person. Number 2, people on the same level as you. Or little bit higher, a little bit lower, and you guys kind of just do this, right? Because it helps. So these people around your age, no more than usually 10 years older than you, around your age to maximum 10 years older. Same, like I said, you guys are on the same ventures. I don't know why I drew a face, but you guys are on the same ventures. You guys are doing the same things, right? And you guys are most importantly, to some extent, competing with each other, inciting each other on everything. And this in turn, like I said, this frequency will make each of you guys go higher and higher and higher and higher. Okay? The next person, which honestly, this one, I would say that you have to get to a certain level to start doing or offer something to someone at least. But the next, so this is peers, you could say, brothers or whatever you want to call it. This, mentees. People that are in a position, let me put eyes on this guy as well. People in a position that you can teach, okay? It doesn't matter what you did. People, and this is important, it could be people that you've seen yourself 5 years ago that you wish you had. Because the best person that you could teach is someone that was in your position 5 years ago, because you know that person better than anyone because you were once there, okay? So like I said, for example, in my case, it was like I had a job, was lost at one point, and didn't know if it was possible to make money online. So whenever I see someone that's younger than me that's in that same position, I know exactly what they're feeling to some extent usually, right? And then because of that, I can teach them and say, hey, this is like another pathway. And then, like I said, the reason why this is important is because to get is one thing, but you also have to give out. When you give out, it comes back to you. When you help other people, like I said, all of these in turn help other people. This guy, okay, he's helping you. You are helping him. And then these two are helping yourself become into the position to be this guy to help other people. Like, you get what I'm saying? So it's a whole spiral of success. And to be able to get into the spiral, every single one of these you can become at one point. You need to be this guy. To become this guy, you need to be this guy to get knowledge from this guy. And then you need to have someone with you to level you up, in this case, to become him. Okay? And then during this time, you know, the more you also mentor people that are younger, you become this person for higher levels of people. First, you start mentoring people that are at this level, and then eventually, like I said, not only does your teaching go up, your friends go up, and this, you become a higher level mentor, right? So that's, I would say, the guideline. If the people you're surrounding yourself, and you have to truly, I'm saying this, you have to truly ask yourself, okay? Even with someone that is 110% loyal sometimes, you have to truly ask yourself, okay? What position do one of these three, if they're not in this position, you would, let me put this in a better example, okay? If whatever goal that you have in mind, like a big goal, let's just say something, let's say someone comes to you and is like, if you don't reach that goal by the end of this year, something traumatic is going to happen to you. Anyone that isn't in this category, you're never going to see them in that 1 year. Okay. So those people that you're not going to see, usually it's a sign that you shouldn't talk to them anymore. Okay. So I hope you guys like this video. Like I said, I'm going to get more deep into stuff like this. My main focus obviously is my business, but I like to now start post some stuff like this more. I think I like this style a little bit better than my other types of videos. And also this and like the travel vlogs, whenever I go traveling, I'm planning to go somewhere else soon in a couple weeks from now, a couple weeks to a month. But yeah, like I said, just if you like these videos, like and subscribe. And